AVC and YouTubers, this is Chris. I'm back to do the, I think it's the third part in the solo piano series. I had done classical and women composers, and I had said I was going to do a solo jazz. So that's this one. Previously I had watched, I think, Julius Jabar-Sherv had done his solo piano, and it was mostly jazz, so this will be a complement to that. And in the meantime, some other things came in that are sort of related, so I'll just show those to get them out of the way. This is not jazz necessarily. Tangos for Ivar. This is tango pieces or compositions. Ivar Mikashov had commissioned a bunch of composers to do tango pieces for him in the 80s and 90s, or early 83 to 91. And so there was another album I had showed in some previous video that was him playing those pieces. And this one is Hannah Shaibayeva playing solo piano versions of some of those compositions. So, ones that were commissioned. Mr. Ivar has he passed away in 84, I think. This is a 2019 release, and some of the people that came up with pieces for this, Stefan Wolpe, Frederick Rzewski, Rzewski, I think I kept adding an R to the front of that, Michael Nyman, Milton Babbitt, Tom Johnson. So, solo piano, this came in and it was sort of related. And this one, I think I have to give credit to Carm at Gorbo 31. He had done a video recently about the Moods record label, and I think he showed a Wolfgang Donner. So I picked up this Wolfgang Donner on Moods, which is a 2-in-1, 2 solo piano albums, both from 1988. This was released in 2010 on Moods Records, and one album is Changes and the other one is Zeitlauf, or something to that effect. So Wolfgang Donner, German composer, artist, solo piano. And then I bought this, I think somebody, maybe it was Mazzy, Norman Masloff, maybe had shown this. I forget who it was, but I think it was a box set on Pablo, and I was missing volume 13, which I didn't realize, so I picked up volume 13, Art Tatum Solo Masterpieces. So these are recordings from between 52 and 55 on the Pablo label. So now I have completed my Pablo individual album set 1 through 13 rather than the box set, but volume 3, I think one of them is a CD reissue on the Jazz Heritage label, so I still need to get that if I'm actually going to get them all, the whole set on vinyl. But so to do this solo piano thing, I'll start off with Dave Burrell, Windward Passages on Hat Hut label, 1980 when this was put out. This is a 2 LP set, and I don't remember now if I got it real cheap because it was missing one of the records or if I've just misplaced it. But Dave Burrell solo piano. He was involved in that early group of BYG releases in 1969 out of France. Played on several of those albums. So Dave Burrell. Here's the one label with a hat. And then that concentric circles thing on the other side. Next we have Jaki Byard. Solo piano on Prestige. This is from 1969. So New Orleans Strut is the first song on here. Top of the Gate Rag, a Basin Street Ballad, the Hollis Stomp. So it gives you sort of an idea of what you're in store for here. And there's the Prestige label. Jaki Byard, solo piano. And now we go to the Russian composer and pianist Sergei Kuriokhin. So this is Polynesia, Introduction to the History is the English translation of this, on the Melodiya label from 1989. And there's the pink Melodiya label. Solo piano. He's usually more on the avant-garde side of rather than jazz, but sort of bridges the gap between the two. Next up, German pianist Joachim Kuhn. (1986) on the CMP label. Oops. And I'm hoping these are all different than other people have shown, but there may be some overlap, like maybe this one here. Muhal Richard Abrams, live at Montreux in 1978. Solo piano on the Novus label. And then Mr. Paul Bley. I think this one is hard to kind of hide the title, but I think it's Tears. This is on the Owl label. So Paul Bley, solo piano from 1984. So we went from Abrams to Zeitlin, A to Z, Denny Zeitlin. Soundings. Solo piano, free improvisations. So this is on the 1750 Arch label. And this one You see over here, for Christopher, best regards, Denny. So I bought this directly from the artist. Soundings, 1978, solo piano. And then Waldron, Signals, solo piano, recorded in 1971. On the Arista Freedom label. Waldron, 4 tracks make up the album there. And Rand Blake, The Blue Potato Chip and Other Outrages. This is on the Milestone label. Solo piano works. He's up in his, you know, looking kind of young there, but still putting out albums. He's, you know, late 70s or early 80s. I think he teaches up in the New England area. And Randy Weston. Self-titled, solo piano, 1976 on the PA USA label. I've been trying to track down one other solo album by him, but it seems like it's only available in Europe, and it's, you know, like £100 or something, so haven't had much luck with that. Borah Bergman, he's more on the improvisational or free jazz side of things. $1975 on the Chiarascuro label. If I remember right, at least one of these is, he's playing 2 separate solos, one on his right hand and one on his left hand. Don't know if he did it simultaneously or if he just did each one and then combined them to make, you know, an overlaid one on the other. And then a couple of less well-known ones possibly. George Bley, The Soloist. I may have shown this in the past, but I think I showed it as for the cover art. So this is solo piano works on Alternatives in American Music is the label. $1980, and I picked up this other one by him, which is also solo piano, but it's more of an EP with, you know, 6 very short tracks. And Stefan Merriman. Solo piano compositions. I think these are primarily improvisations, or they started out as improvisations and he played them enough that they became less improvisational. On the Avon Hill label, which seems like that was a military board game company. Didn't know that they put out records too. And then the last two, Misha Mengleberg, out of that European jazz scene. This is Pech Onderweg, solo piano, 1978 on some weird label. You can see that, BV Haast. And then Mike Malillo, Sepia is the title of this, out of Italy on Red Record, 1984. So he does, it sounds like a standard, but it's he composed it, This Thing by Starlight. Then he does an Irving Berlin song, and he closes with a Jerome Kern song. So there's the Red label, Red Records, Mike Malillo, piano solo. So there's my piano solo video. Just earlier today, this is Sunday evening, I watched Julius Jabbar. He did a solo guitar video, which, that's also something that I would like to maybe do one to follow up. Yeah, I really liked the way he started out with John Fahey and Peter Walker and Robbie Bashow, some artists that I really like. So I'll see if I can do something along those lines. But I think a lot of what I probably want to show is on CD, so I don't know about that. But we'll see. And since it's Sunday evening, I was drinking this Hooligan ×2. So an Imperial IPA from the Scofflaw Brewing Company. Out of Atlanta, Georgia. So double IPA. There's let me see if you can see the artwork on there. Two eyes, some crooked teeth. 9% alcohol by volume. So anyway, cheers everyone. Thanks for watching. See you later.